Hello. Just finishing up some important reading here. Should apologize to all my fans. I know it's been a while since I've posted an episode, and today's is going to be, pretty awful, pretty lame, and weak and lacking good content. But there's a lot of things going on up there that you can't really see. And that sounds like a scam, but that's true. I've been doing a lot of things, and we just can't see too much progress for it. But sit back, relax, and enjoy, because I'll be showing you episode 13.
Okay, so we're going to kick off episode 13 with Lucky 13 with a sealing of the river. Now I'm using this Mod Podge here. It's going to seal it so I don't get any leaks when I pour my realistic water, but it's also just going to sort of clean everything up a little bit in preparation, because I need to add the landscape on the sides even before I pour the water. So this is just going to be the next step in that process. After the Mod Podge, we're going to put some paint on there just as a base color before we do the rest, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Here's my test board, where I'm going to run some tests on this little board prior to actually putting it on my train board. So I'm going to try to put the baseball infield grass in this little area here. I'll block out the pitcher's mound and see how that looks. I'm going to do a little sample small river, I should call it a stream, right there. And then I'm going to do a static grass implementation over here on the right, and we'll see how those look in preparation for actually doing it on the main board.
A little progress on the baseball field as well. I had this idea of, once I cut that out, I painted the infield brown. Now when I remove this paper, in theory, it should be, and then I'll be able to tell where to glue so I can actually add the dirt. And then I'll do the same thing with the outside of the stadium, so I'll know where to add the grass. So yeah, that's a little progress, not much, but a little there.
I need some progress back here on the mountain too. I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit. Added a couple of trees, and I got the part there painted. Now I needed to get it painted because it's hard to reach. So I've got to sort of complete the upper part of the mountain before I can come out here and finish the rest. So definitely made progress, but a long way to go still. Okay, so pretty happy with the way this turned out. My grass infield looks pretty good. I didn't do a perfect job with my gluing, but I'm pretty happy with the way that looks. My static grass went really well. Not sure how well you can see the way that looks there, but I'm real happy with how that went, and just in the places that I glued. So that went really well. The river is good, but I learned some things, like, for example, I didn't completely paint it the way it's supposed to be. So it looks like it just doesn't look right, but I learned enough to know how to do it. And I learned, pretty happy with how it looks, knowing the parts that I messed up. So yeah, there you go. So one of my latest ideas or purchases is, as you come across this bridge into the town, there's a new welcome sign at the town, and it's named Sam's Town. So I have run LED power. Now right now I'm kind of cheating, and it's just running back here onto the ground. But if I plug in, without falling over, if I plug in the light, you can see it's on, and if I turn off the lights, you can see the sign lighten up. So yeah, pretty happy with that. So not a lot of me in action in this episode, but that doesn't mean a lot wasn't getting done. So I have got all the rocks now glued into the riverbed, and the bed is sealed. So it's the very next step is painting. Over here,
I've made a lot of progress on the mountain. In fact, the mountain's sort of all structured. I just need to plaster the front here and then do more with the scenery than I have. I got the tunnel sidewalls in. I've got my rock face in. Got to do some painting on that. I've got the infield in. Still got a lot of the outfield to do, but I did wire all the stadium lights. You can sort of see them laying over there because I haven't glued them down, but I do have them wired in. Even got the truck wired in at the old farmhouse so his headlights work. So progress is being made, and if you come back for episode 14, I promise you'll see more of the river. Okay, this concludes episode 13 of Locomotive Lance. Didn't get a lot of demonstration type work in on this episode. We did do a lot. I did get a lot accomplished, but didn't show as much. So hopefully if you come back for episode 14, you'll get to see a little more of that. We did get some things done, and I got some big plans coming up for episode 14. So one quick tip. I know fall season is kicking off, maybe a little harder to get out there and get your exercise. So I just want to give you this tip. You need to cut back on your sugar. It's not really good for you. And so I would just recommend, as we get into the holidays here, that you really focus on limiting your sugar intake. All right, see you for episode 14.